You need to look for mentors, people who then got wealthy or somebody that you could look up to that made some money, things of that. You know what I mean? Money's not everything, like me and Shaquan was talking about earlier. You know what I mean? But you do need it to survive. You know what I mean? So
Money's everything now.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
in
yeah,
my world, man. Listen, man. I was just talking about that a couple of days ago, man. You can't be in love with no money, man. You can't,
nah, that's it. Nah, cause
it's hard. Love all that hugging, all that kissing when you hungry,
oh yeah, yeah,
or the
you got
bills is
yeah,
due,
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah,
ain't
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
be enough for that.
Nah,
Yo,
that's
baby, it gonna start looking like
oh nah, a woman off the rip. You
gonna
know what I
start
mean? They're
looking
gonna
like, yo,
get you.
yeah,
Yeah,
I love you,
yeah.
but welcome to Street Lights episode. What is we going off episode? I don't know, but where we talk about topics of streets, just church, upcoming, mature talks where we come from, just speaking on livelihood of men, and that's basically what we talk about here. So I have my brother Noel here, and we just here chopping it up. I'm Evan, and we just here chopping it up, just speaking on just our basically our background and where we come from, and um how we get here. So we trying to just show the youth, and also show the older adults, like, it's just other ways to, survive out here, and other ways to you know make it out the neighborhood. So that's what street life is about. You come from Noel, and you want to introduce yourself real quick.
Oh, all right. My name Noel Wilkerson. Um, come from Forest Projects, 165 in Trinity, 980. Um, went to the public school, 140. From there, I went to 120. From 120, I was able to get into St. Raymond's uh, Catholic school, all boys.
Up there,
Yeah,
up
by
there.
Parkchester.
Everybody loves St. Raymond's.
Yeah, I was able to get in there. Um, graduated from there. Um, went to John Jay for a little bit.
College.
You
Okay.
know what I mean? Um, uh, backtrack a little bit. So I went to John Jay, but before I went to John Jay, when I was like 18, I had took I was taking all the civil service exams. So I had took the civil service exam for sanitation. I had passed it. Thought I was going to be a garbage
Mm.
man.
And they make money too. They make money.
Yeah, yeah,
Make
yeah.
hella money.
That didn't work out though
Yeah.
because even though I had passed with a high score, I didn't understand list numbers back then. They go by list numbers.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I learned that later on.
Okay.
My list number was really high, so I didn't get in there. But I was taking all like civil service exams. Took the firefighter joint, and I happened to pass that. So I know I needed 30 college credits. So when I was going to college, I actually went to John Jay because I wanted to get my degree, but um, they had called me. FDNY called me, so I had bounced. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had my 30 credits. It's like I'm out of here. You know what I mean?
Big move, man.
Yeah. So I started that at like 22.
22.
Yeah.
22. So we go back to, like, what was it like just growing up in Forest Projects? What was Forest Project in the 90s? Just the 80s?
The
How was
80s.
it neighborhood? Yeah, how was the
Oh,
neighborhood?
uh, you know, it was regular. You know what I'm saying? I could say it's regular, but for
Mm-hmm.
everybody else from the outside looking in,
Yeah,
you know what I
coming
mean?
up there was kind of like
It's
we ain't want to go up there.
yeah, it's a little different from you know what I
Yeah,
mean
yeah,
from the
yeah.
outside looking in. But for me, it was regular. You know what I mean? Running
Okay.
around outside. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? I'm the youngest of six. I got to stay out late. You know what I mean? I got to stay out real late. You know what I mean with my older brothers or whatever running around,
Yeah.
or just even in front of the building. So I learned a lot by just watching. You know what I mean? I learned what not to do, what I could do. You know
Definitely.
what I mean?
Definitely.
How I could maneuver a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I knew what boundaries not to cross. You know what I mean? I know how the streets work. You know what I mean? So, but it was cool. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
was, you know what I mean? Built,
Regular.
yeah, regular. You know what I mean? Built a family outside the family. And we was moving. You
So
know what I
you,
mean?
so you went from there. So what made you at 18 started like figuring like cause you had your time to think I want to do all these city jobs. I want these jobs where like, cause at 18 I wouldn't think like that. So like what was the mentality of you just figuring like I want these type of jobs where I'm gonna be set.
Um, well, truthfully, like at first, when I was in St. Ray's, it seemed like when I went there, I was like, yo, I don't want to make no friends in here. I ain't trying to deal with none of these cats. These dudes is clowns. I was going to school. I was coming home. I wasn't even really affiliating myself with the dudes that was from the school. A few cats, which now that I look back on it years later, I was like, I did myself a disservice. You know what I mean? I should have really tapped in with
Network
everybody.
with people,
But
yeah.
I already had my friends outside. You know what I mean? I came from public school. They started ninth grade. I got there in 10th because my junior high school go to the ninth
So ninth
grade.
grade, okay.
So I was already out the loop. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know that you couldn't have braids. First day I went there, I had braids in my hair. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, what you doing with all that? I had to cut my joints and all that. So
So you had to cut your hair
I
down
didn't cut
too?
it actually. I actually just took it out and I just went back. You know what I'm saying? What I'm
Okay,
saying?
okay.
Because I didn't know that you couldn't have braids in the school. You know what I
What?
mean? Yeah, you can't have braids in Catholic school
Dang.
back then. So
It was on Yankee Stadium. It was on Yankees on Yankee Stadium stuff. Yankees does that. Cut
yeah,
your facial hair off on. All right, that's great. I didn't
yeah.
know that.
So but what happened was how I figured that out was it was an OG in my neighborhood. See, I used to always pay attention and listen. You know what I mean? So he came up to me. He was a sanitation worker. His name is Rip. You know what I mean? Shout out to Rip. You know what I mean? Because he was the first one who actually opened my eyes. Because when I was in Raised, I was just going. I'm like, all right, boom. It seemed like everybody had everything figured out. What college they was going to. They was already working. You know what I mean? I was trying to find jobs when I was in high school. Seemed like I couldn't. You know what I mean? So but seemed like all the other cats had it figured out. So I'm in my head like, I gotta figure something out. So he had came, he was like, yo, here. He gave me the application for sanitation. He was like, yo, fill this out, take it. You know what I mean? So I grabbed it from him, I filled it out. I went and talked to my pops. I'm like, yo, I need like $60 for this joint. And then he was like, oh, wow, you might as well just start taking all of them. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? So I started going with my pops. He would hit me with the bread. You know what I mean? So I could take my test. And then that's how it started from Rip. You know what I mean? And God bless him. You know what I mean? Because if it wasn't for him to put that in my hand, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? No telling. You know what I mean?
that's a big
So
deal.
shout out to Rip for that. You know what
Big
I
deal
mean?
in the neighborhood. OG gave you some game
Yeah.
that you wound up taking and moving with that. So so we gonna salute you for just being a fireman first off, because
Appreciate
like
it.
I always say, like back then, just to see, now it's probably getting better now. You've probably seen more black firefighters, but at one point you wouldn't see no black firefighters. You know what I mean, so that's a big deal. Even getting in there and just what I mean, being a part of that. So how was that situation with the fireman?
Um, for me, it was love. You know what I mean? I don't have no complaints, no regrets. It was smooth sailing for me. You know what I mean? So like maybe one incident. You know what I'm saying? Rectified that. You know what I mean? But other than that, it was smooth for me. I I I knew my job, so you know what I mean. I ain't have too many problems. You
You
know,
based out here or you based on those?
I was in Washington Heights. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
okay, okay,
So I
okay,
did
okay.
I did my whole career in Washington Heights.
Oh, well, all right, all
Yeah,
right, all
you know
right.
what I mean. So a real busy area. You know what I mean. We caught work. So when you say you catch work, that
Fire.
mean that you go to fires. You
Party
know what I
fire.
mean? So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it was a blessing. You know what I mean? It was a
Oh,
great
yeah,
time. It's
yeah.
wonderful. You know what I mean?
That's what's up, man. Like, yeah, that's a story to even speak on that. Like I said, you don't see firemen's you don't see people even trying to be firemen because you can't get in there.
Nah, you could
They
get
make
in.
it. You get in,
Yeah, you can get in. You know what I
but
mean?
just the way they make it seem is like that test and just the way
it was
they make it so hard for you to
yeah.
minorities, I guess.
Yeah, you know that though. You know how that go. But they fixed that a little bit. You know, they do a lot of recruiting in the neighborhoods now, because you know the Vulcans, that's the Black Firefighter organization.
Vulcans, okay.
They came up with a lawsuit against the city and they actually
That's what I'm
won.
trying to say. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So a lot of people who got on the job that they disqualified. You know what I mean? So they got all that back pay. They got on the job. They got that retro money. They got their time up front. You know what I mean? So they rectified that. So now they do a lot of recruiting in these neighborhoods. You know what I mean? But it's the same thing like you're saying. You know, the firehouse is different because when we go in, we close the doors. You don't really see what's behind that. So it's important for, you know what I mean, firefighters to get out there or keep the doors open when you're in a community with people that look like you know what I mean? So they can see, the kids can see you, bring them in, get on the fire truck and all of that.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So they can see you're able to do this too. You know what I mean? So that's why when I was actually working, I used to go to my junior high school. I used to talk to the kids and all of that on career day. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Something I still like to do. You know what I mean? If I got the
Big
chance
deal.
to,
Big
yeah.
deal.
You know what I mean? That's how you give it back. You know what I mean?
100%.
And I wasn't a recruiter. I could have been getting paid to be a recruiter and all that, but I would just take a stack of, you know what I mean, the applications, and I would just give them out in the hood anyway. You know what I mean? Like, yo, take these tests, bro. You know what I
So
mean?
in order to be a fireman, you gotta have 30 credits.
Not no more. You gotta have 15 now.
Oh,
But
well.
truthfully, you don't even. I think you just see with 15 or 2 years work experience. They switched it all around. So it's different now. So yeah, which is great because back in the 80s and the 70s and all that, all you needed was a high school diploma. You know what I mean?
And then they made it to a 30 credit. They know you
Yeah,
wasn't going to
yeah,
school for
yeah,
30 credits, you
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah. So it's like like you really.
But I heard that the training is
Oh, the
outrageous.
training is tough. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say it's easy. You know what I
I
mean?
heard training
It's gonna
outrageous.
train you like
You're over here running with stuff on your back and
nah,
all that.
yeah, you don't really run. You know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying, you going. It's
Push the
tough.
test.
Cats, I only can speak for myself, and I'm
Hmm.
gonna keep it real. It was tough for me. You
How
know what I
long was
mean?
it?
It was I think it was 4 months for me. I think it was
4
4 months,
months.
3 months, 3 or 4 months. I think it was 3 months, but now it's 6 months. They extended it. You know what I mean? They make it. It's like the police academy now, so it's
But
6 months.
so police academy 6 months too?
Yeah, police academy six
Oh, okay,
months.
okay, 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 okay,
But
okay.
police academy ain't got nothing on fire academy coming like physical wise. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's physical. You know what I mean?
Push the
And
test, brother.
and when I got in there, I thought there was gonna be some, oh, yo, you got welcome in. Nah, they get in your face yelling. It's on some like you went into the service. You know what I mean? So I was like, yo, what is this foolishness? You know what I mean? Like, but I pushed through. I made it out, and then once you get out that academy, sweet sailing though, bro.
Straight.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Other than going to the real, handling the real deal.
Yeah.
Other than that, sweet, it's sweet, man.
So it's like a brotherhood
Yeah.
after, like, people, like, even if people retire or people leave, it's still like it's just like I heard like sorority, like there'll always be a
Yeah.
salute, like, from, you know what I mean,
Oh,
like,
definitely. You know what I mean? It's definitely a brotherhood. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's a brotherhood. Like you got it.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
you was on the line with you was on the
We
line,
holding
yeah,
each other down. You know what I mean?
yeah,
We got, you know what I mean? We have our lives in each other's hands. So,
definitely.
you know what I mean? It's definitely a brotherhood. And yeah, I can pull back up to the firehouse anytime. Still get the calls. I'm invited to everything. You know what I mean? My man, he just retired on the 30th of May, and he did 30 years. So he having his last dinner at the firehouse. I got the call today to come through. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So
And how many years you did?
I did over 20. You know what I mean? So and then I retired.
Oh shit, you was like I said.
Yeah, that was it for me. I'm still young. I want to be able to move around. You know what I mean? God willing, you know what I'm saying? I get another 40 years out the deal. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? And
you
that's
already
you
you
know what I
already
mean?
served your purpose there already.
Yeah, you know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean?
What's up, brother?
Enough is enough, you know?
What's up? Yeah, like, yeah, like I said, I
Yeah.
mean,
I had another 5 in me, but I cut it. I did what I did. I did my time and got up out of there. Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. You don't, black man in his mid 40s, just now I can do what I want to do. As
Yeah.
far as I already done gave back and served my purpose as far as That's helping the community now. Being a fireman and being a policeman,
Oh yeah,
you really in the community
I put my life on the line
saving
for 20
lives.
years.
Yeah,
You know
you
what I
say
mean?
like you know what I mean. Like you actually, they don't tell them you going there. We see backdraft, man. I mean, you go up in there, you go up
Nah,
in
but
there.
yeah, your life really on the line.
I
It's
always think of
serious.
fireman. I always think of backdraft. That movie always put me back to where Kurt
Yeah.
Russell had all that fire in his eyes, and all that stuff, and I know that's probably the most dangerous. I see between that, doctors who do surgery
Yeah,
and pilots. I think I have probably the most dangerous jobs, yo.
copy.
You know,
Yeah, kind of.
that's how I look at it. Like I put pilots first because you can't have a bad day. Ain't no bad day being a pilot. You can't be like, I don't want to do this. You got 250 people lives in your hands. So if you
Yeah.
feel like having a bad day, like stay home. You know what I mean? That ain't the day to be coming in talking about yo, you know what? I can't take this no more. Because everybody going with you. You can't do that. And a surgeon, you can't have a bad day because once you open somebody's body up, you can't be like, oh, man, that's enough. You got to finish the job.
Hmm.
Their lives depend on your hands.
Yeah.
And a firefighter cannot have a bad day going there when it's a fire and you figuring like you thinking about your woman or you had an argument. You like yo, nah, man. Like you got to be able to concentrate
Yeah.
because everybody life, the man behind you, like when you're holding that hose, like
Yeah, it's a whole it's teamwork, you know what I
it's
mean?
teamwork, right?
It's teamwork. And you got it's not even the ones behind you, it's the ones that's in the apartment and searching for people already in there, you know what I
Mm.
mean? Cuz you got the truck and you got the engine, you know. I was in the engine. We the ones who put the fire out with the water, you
And
know.
that joint's heavy, right?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. When they put that pressure in there, yeah, yeah, yeah. Especially it's two different ones. You got the 1 3/4 and you got the 2.5 line. You know
Okay.
what I mean? So the 2.5 you use for either project fires or store fires. You know what I mean? The 1 3/4 we could use in a regular tenement, a house fire. You know what I mean? Things like that. But the 2.5 ain't no joke, bro. You know what I mean?
Takes. And then how many
Yeah.
guys you need to hold that?
Well, it's you. It depends if it's a 4-man engine or a 5-man engine.
Okay.
It's the nozzle man, the backup, the door, and the control man if you have a 5-man engine. You know what I
Gotcha.
mean? If you got a 4-man engine, it's the nozzle man, the backup, and control. You know what I mean? So they took the city actually took the fourth man from a bunch of engines when they did budget cuts. You know what I mean? So certain engines got them back in different areas.
Budget cuts from fireman. That's crazy,
Oh yeah,
man.
they done close firehouses and all of that, bro.
That's
Like
outrageous. Like,
yeah,
like it's gonna be fights, brother. Like you
yeah.
gotta, you can't, man. I know the story, man.
Yeah, they didn't.
You
Yeah,
know,
you know how that go.
yeah. You know the city. You know what I mean,
Yeah, you know.
money hungry, but man, so that's what's up, man. Like that's positive. Um, also let's go on to writing books, brother.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So um, I was
Where
when I
that
was
passion came from to
now when cause I always want to get back. You know what I mean? I'm the cat. I'm the dude in the around my guys like yo, chill. We ain't doing none of that. Or you know what I mean? We not getting into that. Like I always been a positive guy. So you know what I mean? I always wanted to give back. You know what I mean? So I
okay,
figured out. I was When I was a fireman, I was like, what's a way that I could, try to reach the people, you know what I mean? Like, reach the younger cats, you know what I mean? Or just touch people in general on some old, like, so I was like, you know what, finances, as we get older, you start to see, like, yo, we've been doing everything all wrong. You know what I mean? If we was really uneducated about a lot of things, you know what I
bingo.
mean? And if we would have known this at 18, life would be a lot different. You know what I mean? You could make a lot of different moves. You know what I mean? Because the earlier you start, you know what I'm saying? Saving money now, save you later, type thing. So I was like, I've been set it out. I wanted to write a book. You know what I mean? And so I could give back some type of way. You know what I mean? And I actually wrote it in probably like 2018 or something. So I retired. I was like, yo, what I'm gonna do? You know what I mean? And I was like, you know what? Like, now's your time. You know what I mean? You got the time to do it. You can sit down, you can concentrate, you can focus. So that's when I came up with the Money Tree Chronicles and put it out in like 2023. You know what I mean?
I thought it took you. How many years took you total to?
Um, nah, I didn't write it. I didn't start it in 18. You know what I mean? I probably actually started it in like 2021, like just trying to jot things down of like how like wanted to play it out. And truthfully, I thought I had a lot. You know what I mean? But when I published it, it was small.
Short.
Yeah, it was short. You know what I mean?
Small
But
book.
yeah, it was short. You know what I'm saying? But I think the message in there is powerful. So you
So
know.
what is some of the what are some of the messages in the book? Because I would coming from we come from, or just I know the community. At 18, they telling us get out the house.
That's a fact.
You know, they telling us get out, go get your own. You know, either you go on to school or you leave my house. You know what I mean? And it's putting us to a point where that was never the way it's supposed to be. You know, it put us behind so far because at 18, you're not even your brain not even mentally ready to be no adult. You
That's a
know,
fact.
some people was doing it, but it's like you was kind of forced to try to go on your own and pay your bills and be by yourself and all like that. Like, man, other races they stay with their parents until they going to school, they go to college, they come back from college, go home, they get jobs, careers, and then after they get married or even they save their money up, then they going out.
Yeah.
They already like either they taking their family house that the family at the mother had it given down to the person. And like us, well, just
I'm
just
saying I see both sides of that though. You know what I mean? I see
okay.
both sides. So I see the side where if you got a child that's not doing anything, you know what I mean? Don't want to contribute, don't want to go to school, don't want to work and this and that third. You can't just lay around as a grown adult and do nothing and sit in this house where I'm grown. I didn't put my work in and paid all these bills and I'm doing this, that, and the third. I'm not here to take care of no grown ups.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? But if you working towards a goal, you setting goals and you stand at third, you still going to school, yeah, stay home, this, that, and third. But if you just laying around, well, even if you working, you understand what I'm saying? All right, cool. You could chill till you get yourself situated, save as much as you need. Even if you want to save for a down payment to a crib, you know what I mean? That's fine. But I see them parents saying like, "Yo, I'm not taking care of no grown ups." You know what I mean? So I get that sometimes. You know what I mean? It depends on the situation. You know what I mean? Like, and then some kids they turn adults and they want they want to run the household. Like, you know what I mean?
That
Like,
part.
I might you are an adult, but if you're not paying no bills, you don't make no rules around here. You understand
100%.
what I'm saying? And then you got to teach kids responsibilities. Just because you're an adult, that don't mean you don't contribute to this house.
Yeah.
That's how I was raised. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when you reach a certain age and you can make money, you got to contribute somehow. Because it's
Gotcha.
nothing in life is free.
Nothing.
You know what I mean?
100%.
You can't live nowhere for free. So if I don't even want to put that in your head. You know what I mean? I want know that you got to pay your way in life. You know what I mean? And in the first place, you need to learn that is at home. You know what I mean?
Home's your first school. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the way I look at it, though. You know
No,
what I
and you
mean?
and you and you and you correct. You correct. Um I just see other races so ahead, and I think that their plan of just I'm not throwing my kids out there, regard no matter
Yeah.
what.
Nah,
You know,
don't be fooled by that. I worked with a lot of people that didn't look like us,
yeah,
and they was putting their kids out when their kids wasn't doing what they needed to do. You understand what I'm saying? So they paint that narrative, but they doing the same thing.
it's
You know what I
narrative.
mean? They painting that narrative, but they doing the same thing. You know what I mean? That's why I actually wrote the book. So, you know what I mean? A young adult pick it up, or a parent pick it up for their child. It's like, okay, cool. Like you need to be saving. You know what I mean? You need to be start investing when you're 18 or even younger, so you can start building compound interest on that money. You know what I mean? Things like that. You need to learn about taxes. You know what I mean? You need to look for mentors, people who then got wealthy or somebody that you could look up to that made some money things of that. You know what I mean? Money's not everything, like me and Shaquan was talking about earlier. You know what I mean? But you do need it to survive. You know what I mean? So
Money's everything now.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? In
yeah,
my world, man, listen, man. I was just talking about that a couple of days ago, man. You can't be in love with no money, man. You can't,
nah, that's it. Yeah, nah, cause
it's hard. Love, all that hugging, all that kissing. When you hungry,
oh yeah, yeah,
or the
you got
bills is
yeah,
due,
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah,
ain't gonna
yeah.
be enough for that.
Nah,
Yo,
that's
baby, it gonna start looking like
oh nah, a woman off the rip. You
gonna
know what I
start
mean? They're
looking
gonna
like, yo,
get you.
yeah, I
Yeah,
love you,
yeah,
but
yeah,
what are we gonna,
yeah.
you
You
know,
got as a man, you gotta be the provider. So you know
So
what
it's
I mean?
looking like when they say money ain't everything. Yeah, but having it and not having no money is you don't
Yeah.
want to be in
Hmm.
that. You don't
Nah,
want
you
to
don't
be
want
in
to be in
that
that
predicament
predicament. Nah.
because
You know what I
then
mean?
the smallest things with that remote right there. Now that one dish is in there. Now it turn to your I hate you, right? Because
Yeah.
only ain't cause this is there. I hate you because you ain't got no money, man.
Yeah, yeah,
And that this is there too. So
yeah.
you know what I mean.
All that
So
stress building up about you not bringing nothing to the
we can't
table.
bring it to the table. The
Yeah,
light is off. Ain't gonna be. We can't be hugging in the dark. You know what I mean.
yeah,
So it's like it can't, ain't
yeah,
gonna be
yeah,
no hugging in the dark. I gonna take you but so far, but keep it 100, man. I tell everybody like,
yeah. Nah,
listen, man.
that's a fact.
You
You know what I
need you
mean? But
need.
sometimes the lady gotta stick around through the storm. You know what I mean? Because everything ain't peaches and cream sometimes. You know what I mean? So
You correct.
a lot of ladies, you know, they I don't want to just put it on the ladies. You know, some dudes be goofing off. You know what I mean? So it go both ways. But
But
sometimes
these
the dude got a plan, and the lady might not see his vision. You know what I mean? And it might just take a little bit longer to make it work. But she wanted like right now. Like, yo, son, you
it's
gotta
not
do something.
it's not how it
You know
used
what
to
I
be when
mean?
we grew up. And now our parents or when the people we seen grow up, they were sticking around.
Yeah, they were sticking around, but yeah, they definitely were sticking around a little longer. But it was going down behind those closed doors. But it wasn't no social media, so you couldn't see
But
it.
a dude
You know
could
what I mean? It was going down.
struggle, and a woman would be like, "Yo, I know you gonna make a way. I ain't gonna
Yeah,
just I ain't running out because you struggling. You know what I mean,
yeah.
I run out for other stuff,
Hmm.
but the struggling part, I know you gonna we gonna. Even though it was much cheaper back then, it was they're struggling now, I struggle now, two different things.
Facts.
But now, man,
Yeah, you gotta blame that on social media, bro. Cause
now
everybody
you
think they got more options than they really have. You know what I'm
bingo,
saying? They think the
bingo,
grass is greener on the other side. People painting these
heavy
pictures of a lavish lifestyle. You know what I mean? A lot of it be cap. Yeah, but
cap,
it's
big cap, man.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That's why you can't take none of that serious. None. You know what I mean? You gotta take it all with a grain of salt. You know what I mean?
But it's hard though. It's hard when you hungry in the house and then you go to some meeting, you see somebody eating a 5 course meal
Yeah.
all the time, and then you start looking like
But you know, you shouldn't be comparing yourself to nobody else. You should be focusing on you and how you get better. You know what
you.
I mean?
That's our era, and I agree with everything you're saying because I come from the era like but now it's like it's just
You bombarded with it. It's a
it's
distraction. Yeah.
you can't even like you. It's like you, yeah. It's like there's no getting away from it. You got 3 or 4 in the ocean, something like that, like because there's no getting away from it. Like you know,
Yeah.
you look,
That's why I say, like social media is like a gift and a curse. You know what I mean? Because if you use it for the right things, you know what I mean, you can make $1,000,000. But if you following all the wrong stuff and you just looking at it for nonsense, then you know what I mean. You ain't you not using it for its real purpose. You know what I
100%.
mean?
I
Because they
agree.
put it here as a distraction. They ain't know so many people was gonna start getting all that money off of it. You know what
That's
I mean?
they ain't
And
know
they
be the
that's
average person,
yeah, they ain't know that we was gonna run it up.
multi-millionaires
You know what I mean?
running it up,
So when
man.
they found that out, they started, switching up the game like they always do. Once we get our foot in the door, we gonna change the dynamic of the situation. You know what
Regular
I mean?
dudes in the corner
Yeah. So
started making jokes. All of a sudden, they comedians. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Then
making a lot of money.
multi-millionaires
But
and
that's what I'm saying. If you
yeah,
use it for the right things, you know. But a lot of people just using it for nonsense as a distraction. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
So that's the way I look at it.